What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. So another one of the fights from the weekend took place in the United States of America, Houston, Texas, hometown of Oshaki Icewater Foster, and he was in there defending his super featherweight WBC title against Raymond Ford. Both good fighters, a lot of bad blood going into this fight, and Oshaki Foster was the man that came out on top. This is a fight wherein it was relatively close early on, a bit cagey. To be honest, Oshaki Foster was quite fortunate, quite lucky to not get a point or two deducted in the first round because they had a few exchanges in there, got close, they held, and as they held each other, Oshaki Foster just basically threw Ray Ford out the ring, and Ray Ford went out the ring like a kind of Superman dive sort of thing, and he was out the ring, and they gave him seconds to get up and go around the crowds and go into the ring. So there was drama early on in the fight. First round, it was relatively even, and you had that toss and very Foster was very lucky not to get points deducted there. But as the fight progressed, it was kind of nip and tuck. The first 4 or 5 rounds were kind of nip and tuck. I suppose 3-2 either way sort of thing. But where things changed, where the tide began to sort of turn, was as we got into the middle of the fight, sort of 6, 7, 8. As we got to those rounds, that's where Oshaki Foster began to outwork Raymond Ford, and he began to, of the two of them, he began to sort of show that he wanted it more. Because Raymond Ford, he did have his pockets of success in there. He did have times where he was outboxing Foster and landing a better shots, but when it counted for the majority of those rounds, especially towards the tail end of the fight, Oshaki Foster was just sort of outboxing, outworking Raymond Ford and showing that he was a man that sort of wanted it more. He was putting in more effort. He was more effective with his movement, sometimes moving out of range, catching Ray Ford from long range, and leaving Raymond Ford in some points in rounds sort of unable to really deal with that effective work Foster was doing from long range. So Foster used his reach very well, landed lots of straight shots, and upstairs, downstairs, good work. And as it came into the latter rounds, those final championship rounds, 10, 11, 12, those were rounds where, especially 11 and 12, Oshaki Foster really kind of separated himself. He was the man that, of the two of them, he put the pedal to the metal, he put his foot on the gas, he accelerated, he put the effort in those last 3 rounds and made sure that he kind of stamped his authority there and showed that, right, I want this. I'm the hungrier man. I'm the man that's gonna do that extra, that however many percent extra, and make sure that I win the round. And that's what he did, Foster. He made sure those last couple of rounds, even from the middle of the fight, from 6 onwards, he was a man sort of making sure, putting that extra effort in, going to top gear, just making sure he's aggressive, he's throwing punches, he's letting his hands go, and making sure that he's doing what he's doing that work that the judges are going to see, the judges are going to notice. Whereas Ford was content in a way to sort of sit back and try and wait for his opportunities to counter. But while he's sitting back and waiting, Oshaki Foster was working away, scoring shots, and Raymond Ford just didn't really have much of an answer for what Oshaki Foster was doing. So in the end, yeah, he won it really. But the way I saw it, it should have really been unanimous for Oshaki Foster. It was weird. I don't know where the judge that scored it a tie, I think 114, or something like that. I mean, to me, I don't know where he got that scorecard from. I don't know what fight he was watching. It was pretty clearly a Foster win. Even if you want to give it by a couple of rounds or 4 rounds or whatever, however they did. but it's clearly a Foster win. I don't know where they got the draw from. But yeah, good on him. Immediately after, he was calling out Shakur Stevenson, because Shakur Stevenson's a friend of Raymond Ford. Stevenson got in the ring, the usual stuff. Everyone, each one running their mouth, and Stevenson never backs down from this stuff. He's always up for getting in the ring, and he's got the talk and the calling Foster a bum and all this, and you'd have to pick Shakur Stevenson to win, but at the end of the day, I don't blame Foster. You call him out. The man's there ringside. Call him out, see what you can get. But yeah, as for what's next, I'm not too sure. There's definitely quite a few fights out there for him. But yeah, let me know what you thought about the performance of O'Shaquie Foster in the comments. I thought, yeah, good performance. He showed that grit, heart, determination in there, showed that he wanted it more, and he went in there and got it, done what was necessary. So let me know your thoughts. Until next time, it's MKO Boxing, over and out.